What's up everyone, Aaron Limpany here with Aaron Limpany Design, and today we're going to be covering part 1 of 2 of the construction and animation of this responsive Neumorphic infographic PowerPoint slide. Now if you haven't seen my 3-part series on building a responsive Neumorphic PowerPoint slide, I recommend you watch it at the video link on your screen because that'll help you get a little head start on this slide and help you keep up a little better. But if you've already seen that, then let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by creating a new blank slide, and then we're going to go to Design, Format Background, and we'll do a solid fill of our background gray color. So we'll go to More Colors here, go to the RGB sliders, and on a Mac, you're going to use the hex code E7E8ED. On a PC, you'll use the decimal code 15198445, and I will put all of these colors in the description for you. So we click OK. Now we've got the background color. We're going to go back home and we're going to create a circle, and we're just going to click and drag while holding shift. Then we're going to go over to the format shape panel that pops up. We're going to go to size, and we're going to change the width and height to 3.13 inches. Then we're going to go to fill. We're going to change the solid fill to the same background color we just created. We're going to click no line. Then we're going to go to effects. We're going to add a shadow with this first preset. We're going to change the color, hit more colors, and then we're going to add the background shadow gray color. This is hex code A1A5B9. This is also decimal code 10593721 if you're a Windows user. Then we're going to keep our transparency at 60, size at 100, going to change blur to 20 points, keep the angle at 45, and change the distance to 10 points. Then we're simply going to copy and paste our circle. We're going to select both of them, go to the Shape Format tab that pops up, go to Align, Align Center, and Align Middle. Now they're aligned, click on the top circle. We're going to go back over to the effects. We're going to keep the preset, but we're going to change this color, go to More Colors, and you're going to put in our light shadow color, which is FCFCFC, or on a PC that's going to be 16579836. Click OK, and then we're just going to change the angle to 225, hit enter, and voila, we've got it done. And we're going to select both of these circles, Option Command G on a Mac, or right-click in Group on either machine. Then we're going to click on this button for selection pane here. We're going to double-click the group name, and we're going to change this group name to Base Circles. Next, we're going to go back to Shapes. We're going to click on Donut, and we're going to click and drag while holding Shift to create our donut. We're going to go to Format Shape. We're going to change our solid fill color to the background shadow gray color, and we're going to choose No Line. Then we're going to go over to the size, and we're going to change the height and width to 2.59 inches. And then we'll adjust the thickness of the donut by dragging this yellow square, and that looks about right. Then we'll approximately center this, and if you want to make sure, you can always select, go back over to Align, Align Center, and Align Middle. Next, we're going to select this item, go to the selection pane, double click, and we're going to rename it Dark Gray Base. Next, we'll Command C and Command V to copy and paste, and we'll drag this perfectly in place over the other one, and we're going to double click it in the selection pane, and we're going to rename this guy Dark Gray Top. Next, we're going to go back to Shapes, and we're going to create another donut by clicking and dragging while holding Shift, and then in the Format Shape pane, we're going to change the solid fill to our base gray color, and we're going to go to No Line. We're going to change the height and width both to 3.13 inches, which I've seemed to nail perfectly on my first try. We're going to align this with the others, and then we're going to drag the yellow square to reduce the thickness of this donut until it just overhangs the outer edge of this gray circle. So we want it to just cover up this outer edge here. As you can see, when I click and drag, we get kind of this reduced opacity, and you can line it up just a little bit of overhang. This is going to make sure that we get all these circles aligned perfectly and we don't have anything that looks messy when we go to animate this. So then we're going to copy and paste this donut. We're going to change the height and width to both 2.2 inches. We're going to center this one in the frame, and then we're going to increase the thickness of it until it covers most of this center section. And then we're just going to verify that this gray donut is covered by both, so you can actually overlap this a bit more if you want to. It's going to be behind the other donut that we added. Next, we're going to select both of these donuts that we just created. Going to go to the selection pane. We're going to hit Option Command G or right click in Group, and then we're going to rename this group Light Donuts. Next, we'll go back to the Home tab, gonna go to Shapes, and we're gonna create a block arc. And so we're going to click and drag while holding Shift, right about there. We're gonna go to the size first. We're gonna change the width to 2.39, which I have already nailed on the first try. We're gonna choose no fill. We're gonna choose gradient line. And then on the gradient, we're going to click and drag these two center stops off. On this first stop, we're gonna change the color to our purple color, which is hex code 5827ED. And if you're on a PC, that's gonna be 5777389. Hit OK. And then we're gonna go to the right stop and we're gonna change this to our pink color, which on a Mac is going to be DC38FF. And on a Windows computer, it's gonna be 144325511. Hit OK. We're gonna keep the gradient stops where they are. Then we're gonna grab the yellow square and reduce the thickness of the arc to nothing. Then under the line section, we're going to change the width of the line to 14.5, hit enter. And then we're gonna change the cap type to round and the join type to round. And then we get this nice rounded look. Then we're gonna grab the rotation tool. And we're gonna rotate it to the right, holding Shift, it'll do it in 15-degree increments. So we're gonna go all the way to 90 degrees. Then we're going to align this center on the others. As you can see, we get these guidelines that PowerPoint gives us. If you want to use the align tools here, you can, but I'm just doing it manually. Then we're going to go to the selection pane. We're going to double click to rename this Graph Slider. Next, we're going to go to Shape Format. We're going to select Light Donuts, and we are going to bring those forward. So those are in front of the graph slider and the dark gray top and bottom. And then we're going to select the dark gray top and bring that one forward in front of the graph slider. So you should see the graph slider disappear. And because we have these light donuts in place, there's no overhang on these edges. It looks nice and clean. Come back up to Shapes, and we're going to create another circle, click and drag, holding Shift. On this one, we're gonna select no line, but we're gonna do a gradient fill. Our first stop is going to be our base gray color, and our last stop is going to be our light color. We're going to drag the first slider over to 50%. We're going to change the angle to from top left. Then we're going to go over to Effects, and we're going to add an inner shadow from the top left. We're going to change the inner shadow color to our dark shadow color. We're going to put the transparency at 60%. Going to change the blur to 10, angle stays at 225, and our distance is 6. Then we're going to center this item up. Then we'll go to Insert, Icons, and we're going to search for Wind. We're gonna grab this second icon here, insert that one. Let's find where PowerPoint put it. We'll drag it right into place. We're gonna make this a little bit smaller by holding Shift and Control. As we reduce the size, that'll keep it perfectly in place where we centered it. And we'll go back over to Format. We're gonna change the solid fill to our shadow gray color. Then we're going to select the press circle and the icon. We're gonna go to the selection pane. We're gonna hit Option Command G or right click and group. We'll double click the group name and we'll change this to pressed button. We're gonna collapse these menus just to make our life a little bit easier. Then we're going to copy and paste this group, center it in place, going to select the circle. We're gonna go to Format. We're gonna change to a solid fill, and we're gonna change the color to our base gray color. Then we're going to go to Effects, and we're gonna change the preset to our outer shadow. We're gonna change the shadow color to our shadow gray. Transparency 60, size 100, blur is gonna be 17, angle 45, and distance 8. Then we're gonna hit copy and paste that one. We're gonna drag this into place right in front. We're gonna go to Effects, and we're gonna change the shadow color to our light shadow color, and we're gonna change the angle to 225 and hit enter. Then we're gonna go to Shape Format, and we're gonna send this backward once. And there we've got it in front. Then just to make sure we're all aligned here, we're gonna select everything. We're gonna go to Align, Align Center, Align, Align Middle. We're gonna select the icon. You're gonna ungroup by hitting Shift, Option Command G. That'll let us select this icon individually. We're gonna go to Graphics Format, hit Convert to Shape. Now we've got that shape selected. So we're gonna go to Gradient Fill. We're gonna change the first color to our purple and our second color to our pink. And we're gonna set the position of the purple handle at 20%. Then you're gonna go to the selection pane, you're gonna double click the top graphic, and you're gonna rename this Windmill Gradient. And then you'll collapse this menu and you'll select the top 3 items, which are gonna be your windmill and the 2 circles that we've created with the shadows behind it. You're gonna hit Option Command G or right click and group, double click the group name and change this to Start Button. And then you can collapse that menu as well. Finally, we're gonna zoom out and we're going to create a new text layer here by double clicking. And we're gonna type our text wind. We're gonna select it. We'll change the font to aileron. If you don't have aileron, you can use anything else that you like. We'll go to aileron bold, and we'll bump this up to size 32. Then we're gonna go to format shape. We're gonna go to text options. We're going to gradient fill, and the automatic gradient copies from the windmill, and that is exactly what we want. 20% of the purple from the left side and the pink at 100% position on the right side. Now we'll select all of this, and we're gonna go to shape format, align, and align center. Now let's move this guy a little closer. I think all of this needs to shift up just a bit. That looks good. And that's it for part 1 of this video. In part 2, we will be animating and duplicating. I'll be posting that part 2 later this week, so please be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you're notified as soon as it's up. I'll catch you next time.